What's going on, everyone? ODC here, and I'm back with another action figure review. Today's review, we're going to take a look at the Mythic Legion's Advent of Decay. This is Lucretia. She is pretty much the daughter of Baron Volgar, and pretty much been groomed since birth to kind of take the reins as far as death and destruction go. She is devoid of emotion and empathy. That's what it says on her card. It also says a couple other things, like another character, Alithia, which I'm pretty interested in figuring out who that is. But she is the direct descendant from Alithia. So I'm pretty intrigued to see if maybe we'll get Alithia with the ogres. Or some of these characters that we don't know anything of that have been mentioned in this wave. Maybe we'll get some of those characters in the upcoming waves for whether it's the Kickstarter next year or if it's a pre-order coming up. So I'm pretty intrigued to figure out more and more of these unknown characters that have been named. There was other characters that we had seen, including in the first issue of the Mythic Legions, which was Artemis. We didn't have a figure of her, and then we got a figure of her in this wave. It's pretty nice to see that they are including new characters, and this wave 2 is just the I think wave 1, between wave 1 and wave 2. It's really just kind of establishing the characters, getting all of the main characters set, and then they're going to build upon that even more. So she is pretty much just a warmonger, is basically what she is. She doesn't take any prisoners. She doesn't leave anyone alive. As far as she's concerned, if you cross her, you're going to die too. It also does include that her being a direct descendant of Alithia also gives her immense power and militant presence. So obviously, I'm thinking it's kind of something maybe similar to Underworld, where if you are a direct descendant, then you of like maybe let's say a pure blood or whatever you want to call it, or one of the older vampires. I'm guessing in this universe that there's some similarities there with the older you are as far as a vampire, then the more powerful you are, and that works accordingly down the line, especially within bloodlines. But maybe it's switched up a little bit. So if you are a direct descendant of one of the more powerful, older vampires that maybe have been defeated or passed or whatever, died, then you gain their power as well, or some of their power to a certain extent. But these are just little options, I guess, of things that we could think of for Lucretia. But I digress. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to accessories, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back with all of her weaponry accessories. The other accessories that she does include with is the 2 shoulder pauldrons, the cape, and the belt, the brown belt. First weapon up, we've seen this in prior videos, but just to kind of touch on it, this is her dagger and sheath. The dagger is removable. You simply just want to pull a little bit, use a little bit of a pull, and there you go. There's a little bit of paint chipping off on my blade. That's just something to point out. But the sheath looks really cool. Nice little eye logo right there in the center. And then all the silver studs and everything look really good. The silver line work looks pretty good as far as, there might be a little bit of paint slop. There might be a little bit of paint slop right there on the bottom. But it's not anything to really poop your pants about, Anyway, she does use the clip system right here, and looks pretty good. The dagger itself is pretty much just a black plastic, and we do have some silver for the blade. Okay, next up we've got this larger dagger right here. It looks pretty cool. Like I said, it's just pretty much a black plastic with a little bit of a purple, metallic purple for that little center design piece right there, and then we have silver paint for the blade. Okay, next up we have another one of these larger swords that came in the Elf weapons pack, and it also comes in the Dark Forces weapons pack. Sword looks really good. Nice silver paint going all the way up the blade. Looks really cool. I like the design of this blade as well. I like the handle guard, the way it curls down. It's pretty much just a black plastic, and then we've got that purple metallic for the centered jewel. The paint apps are a little bit off on that centered jewel right there. As you can see, there's a little bit of paint chipping right there. The other side doesn't have any issue on mine, but here is the full extent for the handle. Really good. Like the overall design on this. Okay, as far as sculpt and paint work go for Lucretia, she's pretty well done. There's a lot of black plastic. The majority of the paint apps are pretty much the purple and the silver that you see here. The rest is pretty much just a molded black plastic. There's a little bit of brown for the gauntlets and the boots as far as the straps go, and then silver for the buckles. I think everything works pretty well, though. I'm overall pretty pleased with how she turned out. The one major issue that I kind of have is this collar piece. It's a loose piece. It doesn't peg into anything. There's no peg or peg hole for it, and it just wants to sit. But when you start moving her around, it wants to move and jiggle and flop all over the place. This was just kind of a poor design, to be honest with you. I think that they would have benefited, like the other waves had benefited, from a peg hole system in the back for a collar piece to stay in. I don't know. Eventually I could just glue this, but it does get kind of annoying. It doesn't want to stay all the time, and you just have to kind of use pressure for it to stay. So that's kind of an annoying thing. I mean, the collar piece is kind of a selling point for the figure, but at the same point, it's kind of a detriment to the figure as well. The line work is halfway decent. It gets a little bit questionable. I want to say up here towards the top. The line work gets a little bit messed up, but it's not the end of the world, really, for me. I'm not really complaining too much about it. It's just something I wanted to point out with mine. The head is really well done. I love this head sculpt. She looks just not happy. She does not look happy. I like the fact that they gave her little gauges for the earrings. That's pretty cool. Or for her ears, excuse me. That's nice. I like the sculpt of the pointed ears. I like her little bit of paint shading going. Really brings out her angry brow right there. And when there is paint shading needed, it is needed on this head. And where it's not needed. So it works very well. I like the black paint shading for the eyes as well. I like that we've got some whited out eyes. And she's going to look really nice sitting up next to your Baron Volgar and Carpathius. So I think you'll be pretty pleased with how she turned out overall. She is a beautiful figure piece to have in your collection. The shoulder pauldrons are well painted. I don't really have any issues, like I said, as far as paint slop goes or anything like that. All of the line work on her is very well done. I like the silver kind of, or actually it's not a silver, it's kind of like a charcoal gray paint for the under armor, the chainmail, excuse me. Yeah, the gauntlets look really well done. I'm pretty pleased with the subtlety of the purple and the silver mixed together. It's mostly just a kind of a black figure with just some purple and silver line work. But it does bring out, the purple does bring out all those designs on the back, or on the side and on the back, excuse me, of the figure. I don't really have too many issues with paint, except for, like I said, the little bit of paint defects on the collar, but the cod piece right here, the crotch piece, looks really good. It's more of a flat purple. I want to say the majority of the purples on her are a flat purple, and that shine that's giving off is kind of the black plastic that is the rest of her body. There is some paint detail on her boots as well, and we do have some silver studs going on her foot, and then over here for her boots, excuse me, the knee pads and everything, and it does mirror on the other side. The back of the boots look really good. The under armor, the chainmail is painted nicely as well. So not a whole lot of issues there. Like I said, this collar piece kind of just, I just don't like that at all. I don't like it. So I'm just going to have to go ahead and glue that, I guess. But, it's just kind of annoying that they didn't think of a way to engineer that a little bit better. The cape looks really good. There's no paint shading going on the cape or anything like that, so there's no brown paint shading or anything like that throughout the cape. It's just pretty much just a clean cloth. I think it works well for, a vampire. Who knows if she can fly or teleport or whatever she can do. But yeah, so sculpt and paint work, pretty pleased overall. Okay, as far as articulation does go for Lucretia, the her head can swivel side to side. It can look up. Sorry, I have to move the collar down to get her to look up all the way. That's pretty much all the way up. That's neutral. That's down. Her head can pivot side to side. Okay, I had to take that collar piece off just to show you the full range of motion here. The collar piece is just getting in the way, to be honest with you. It's flopping all around. But the head can tilt side to side. That's her looking up, down, full 360 rotation in the head. It's not the fact that the collar piece does hinder. It's just the fact that it keeps flopping and kind of just getting in the way of my hand. But let's see if she's got some jive. Oh, we got some jive turkeys up in here. Arms go up about that far, and then they do go down. There's a full 360 rotation at the arm. Obviously, she'll get better range of motion with the shoulder pauldron, but then you won't have the cape on because they plug into the pauldrons in the back. She does have a single jointed elbow, which is a little bit more than 90 degrees. A swivel at the elbow. She does have a swivel at the gauntlet. A swivel at the wrist. A hinge joint at the wrist as well. And then she does have a diaphragm joint, which can swivel, can crunch back, can crunch forward, can pivot side to side. She does have a waist swivel. And she can do the splits nicely. Leg goes forward. Leg goes back. Leg upper thigh swivel. Single jointed knee. Boot swivel. She can't point the toe. She can point the heel. The ankle does swivel and ankle pivot. This ankle is kind of frozen on me, just to point that out. But she also has 2 peg holes at the bottom of her feet. Okay, as far as Lucretia's packaging does go, here is the typical Mythic Legion single-carded packaging with the Mythic Legion's logo down below. We've got the 4 Horsemen logo on the upper right. On the left, it says mythiclegions.com, sourcehorseman.com, and storehorseman.com. Flipping it around to the back, we've got a beautiful picture of Queen Artemis, Faunus, and Joe Runshaper. On this side, we have her clan logo. On the other side, we have a picture of Lucretia, and there is her read-up. If you want to pause it and read it, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, as far as size comparisons go, we've got 2 Marvel Legends here. On the left, we've got the Marvel Legends Luke Cage on the Hyperion body mold. On the right, we've got multiple men on the Bucky Cat body mold. Okay, up next, we've got 2 female Marvel Legends. On the right, we've got Valkyrie, and on the left, we've got Psylocke. Next up, we've got a WWE Elite figure in Shawn Michaels on the left, and on the right, we've got a DC Universe Classics Hawkman. Okay, and last up, we've got a Motu Classics in Vicor on the left, and on the right, we've got Sir Gideon Heavens Brand. Okay, as far as my final thoughts for Lucretia, I like this figure. I just feel like she's maybe not necessarily the best figure in the wave. I feel like there's some other figures that maybe surpass her a little bit. She is evil looking. Where the paint apps are good, they're really good. There is some slop on that collar. I really don't like the way that collar piece is set up, being just loose fitting like that, and you're just supposed to find a sweet spot for it. I would definitely invest in some super glue to kind of glue that down to the body. That should have been pegged into the body for, I just don't like loose pieces on my figures. It just kind of, it's like a pet peeve I have. But I do have a couple frozen joints on her. Her her left knee, was frozen, and then her right ankle is completely frozen. I can't even get her to use her ankle pivot, so I'm going to have to use some heat on that and kind of go ahead and fix that. But that's just something I need to point out, just in case yours ends up like that. You're not the only one that's like that. Other than that, I really like the figure. I think the cloth goods, as far as the black cape goes, is well done. I kind of have her shielding her face here with her cape here. That's why you can't see anything else. But I'll move the cape in case you want to see the body. But everything else looks really good. I like the consistency with the black and the purple and the silver with all of our vampires here. I think it works well. We saw that with Carpathius. We saw it with Baron Volgar. And we saw it with the vampire Legion builders, whether it's the male or the female, the male knight or the female Legion builder. But I think everything looks really well. I'm pretty pleased with how she turned out overall. So I'm going to give her the 2 thumbs up. Like I said, just because there was paint slop on mine and maybe a couple frozen joints here and there, I'm not going to knock it too much because yours might be just fine and mine might just be a lemon. The collar piece, though, I want to take some points off for the collar piece. That should have been better engineered. With that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like Lucretia? Do you not? But let me know in the comments below. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about her. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Hit the bell for notifications until you see 2 little parentheses hanging over the bell. That way you know you've got all notifications instead of occasional notifications. Hit the like button. That helps me exponentially. And yeah, if you want to see more content like this, that lets me know. But that's pretty much it for me. Enjoy your figures. Have fun, everyone. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.